Good afternoon. We'd like to share a few updates with you regarding the current flooding in East Grand Forks, along with some updates regarding COVID-19. As far as the COVID-19 situation, City Hall remains closed with all people working from home and just a few people spending time here. You can still call any of the numbers that you're used to calling, whether it's the administrative office or any of our individual departments, or you can email to any of the email addresses you find on the city website if you have need of any of our services during this time. Mark?
Also, we are closing the city playgrounds at this time to reduce the spread of the COVID-19. It is difficult to go to each playground and make sure that the kids from different families are not in close proximity. So at this time, the safest move is to close the playgrounds. We also will be having signs that we put up at the playgrounds, and I'll have the notice. I'll read the notice to you. Playground area is closed until further notice. Help stop the spread of the COVID-19 and stay safe. This is effective April 7th, 2020, in an effort to support the safety and well-being of our community. All playground equipment is closed to the public. Thank you for the understanding and be safe. There are also going to be some informational sheets there that pertain to physical distancing in public parks. Do not use public parks or trails if you're exhibiting symptoms. Be prepared for limited access to public restrooms or water facilities. Share the trail, warn others, trail users of your presence as you pass. Follow CDC's guidance on the personal hygienes prior to visiting parks or trails, and also observe the 6 feet distancing between people. Also, Governor Walz is considering extending the stay-at-home order through the end of April. So we should be all watching for that here within the next week. Most likely to be tomorrow, Thursday. There might be some revisions with certain businesses reopening during this time. We will provide more detail as they come in, and hopefully it'll be in the next couple of days. We know that the COVID-19 pandemic created economic challenges for our residents as well as for our local businesses. Mayor? One
of the greatest programs available right now to help individual residents affected, particularly those who are unable to work during this time, or even if you've had your hours reduced, you don't have to be completely unemployed. If they've cut back your hours at your work right now for the COVID pandemic, you very likely could qualify for some unemployment compensation. For people employed in Minnesota, contact the Minnesota Department of Economic and Employment Development, that is DEED, online. DEED will provide assistance by telephone on Fridays from 8 to 4:30 if you have trouble getting into their portal online. People employed in North Dakota should apply for unemployment compensation in North Dakota, even if they live in the state of Minnesota. The CARES Act extended federal unemployment benefits even to some people who do not normally qualify because they do not pay into the unemployment insurance fund. Some Uber drivers and other folks kind of like that. Now, through the CARES Act, unemployed workers can receive up to an additional $600 in weekly unemployment benefits. Also, the 1 week waiting period that's normal for unemployment compensation is also waived in many cases due to COVID-19. This also extends to many self-employed people and sole proprietors, also unique during this time. Mark?
There's other assistance for businesses within our town. The SBA Paycheck Protection Program. The Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, can provide small businesses, certain nonprofits, and other entities with zero free loans of up to $10 million. Up to 8 weeks of average payroll and other costs will be forgiven if the business retains its employees and their salary levels. Principal and interest are deferred for up to a year, and all borrowers' fees are also waived. Your local banker is knowledgeable about these programs, and the application can be made through your local banker. SBA Emergency Economic Disaster Loans. The EIDLs are loans up to $2 million that carry interest rates from 3.75 for companies and up to 2.75 for private nonprofits, as well as a possibility of principal and interest deferments. This loan includes $10,000 advance that is available in as few as 3 days after applying for the loan. The loans may be used to pay for expenses that could have been met the disaster did not occur, including payroll and other operating expenses. Also, Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development DEED programs are: DEED administers the unemployment compensation program discussed above, as the mayor mentioned earlier. Also, there is a small business emergency loan. Small business emergency loans are available after the governor has declared a peacetime emergency. Also, Minnesota Small Business Loan Guarantee Program. This program enables a small business to obtain a term loan when it cannot otherwise qualify for a loan. Also, our city's EDA will also lend money to help businesses through these challenging times. Mayor.
Other things we're working on behalf of businesses and residents. First of all, we're working through the governor's office to see if we can try to equalize a little difference that we have between here and the North Dakota side. In Fargo and in Grand Forks, restaurants can serve their on-side beverages, the on-sale beverages at curbside, with food purchased and picked up curbside. But by Minnesota statute, there's no provision for that. And so these local restaurants on our side are unable to serve their on-sale beverages with food, and we're trying to just equalize that, again, during this emergency time. And in addition to that, there is an effort to see if we can find about a 60-day grace period for property tax payment, particularly for businesses in the area. And we're going to work to see if we can extend that also to all of our residential folks. This really is such an unusual time. It's a time where everything is in a bit of a holding pattern, and we'll just see if we could have that grace period free of any penalties or interest on property tax. Just for a few flood updates now. Probably by now you've seen some other announcements that the Greenway Trail system is currently closed due to the flooding. We are reminded to stay off the levees and out of the floodplain, again, due to the flooding. Current river levels are at about 45 feet, and we're expecting a crest this weekend at about 46.5 feet, putting us into major flood stage, and which puts that crest into about the top 10 flood crests in our city's history. River levels are likely to stay high for a week or so even after that crest hits. The flood control system is performing as designed, with the help, of course, from our Public Works and Water and Light staff. Mark?
Other updates that we do have: we are planning to go ahead with the community cleanup in May, as always. We feel we can do this and maintain safe social distances with our crews and residents. We know that a lot of our residents are using this time to stay at home order to do some spring cleaning, donating stuff to Goodwill, and throwing away things they do not need. Because of that, piles on the berms this spring may be larger than normal. Our city public works crews are planning to pick up all that stuff for us. Also, the hazardous material drop-off site at the Public Works building is likely to be canceled this spring. That would make things difficult to do without people being in close proximity to each other. Mayor?
So we just want to say thank you again for following the governor's recommendation to stay home during this time. The measures that we're taking to prevent the spread of this disease are working. Soon, very soon, we'll get back to normal life. It'll be toward the end of spring or early summer, and I have a feeling it's going to seem better than ever. Mark?
Everybody stay safe. If you have any questions, reach out to the city staff, reach out to the council members, reach out to the mayor, and we can do what we can for you. But stay safe, and that's it.
Thank you.